Hi guys, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, I'm going to teach you another application that is about to a message box like this. In many websites, when there are message box to save your information or to give us information, like here when we click on it, so here is the color of the screen is changed and this message box is present and it have the title save your information, and here is. So now I'm gonna create this message box like this, and now let's create it. For this, here is, I have already created this file and CSS file is already in it. Use jQuery user interface and jQuery library, and let's create it here. Before it, here what we need to do, we have to create a button in which we will click, and then all the event occur and all the functionality will be practically happen. And here is value click, and here is btn, here is div, and here is div, and here is the div. Here I'm gonna give it dialog. ID is dialog. This is dialog box that will appear on the screen. So now when we click on this button, then this div is changed into the dialog box. So here is select this button btn dot, here is click, and here is, and here is function, and here is, and here is, and then here I'm gonna apply all the functionality on this div. And here is always use the ID of that div if you use the directly div. So there are many divs in this file, in this CSS file, so the style will be applied on all these files and the divs that are generated by the jQuery. So here is that div, and first of all give it attribute. First of all, we have to give this div a title. So what is the title? Here is, you see that this is the title, that is save, and here is the title, here is save, and after it we have to give it the text. And where is the text? Here is, this is text, and here is, I'm gonna write save your information. And now after it, what we need to do, we have to apply this dialog function of the jQuery. Here is jQuery user interface, and now here is, when we click on it, so here is a simple dialog box. It have the title, it have this text, and here it have not any button. Now I'm gonna create the buttons here, the OK and the cancel button, and their functionalities also. When we click on OK, so it is closed. When we click on cancel, so it is also closed. So let's build that functionality, and here is this. And first of all, here is, we have to write, to create the buttons we have to write buttons, and then inside the buttons, here is, first of all we have to write the name of the button and then its function, what functionality when we click on that button. So here is, in between the double quotes or the single quotes, write the button name, then its function. Here is this, and this is its function. Here when we click OK, so this dialog box will be closed. So we have to use the this selector to close the dialog box. So here is the dialog function, and pass the argument close. So now when we click on the OK button, so this selector will select this dialog box, and this function will render, and argument that is pass is close, so the dialog box will be closed. And here is this, and when we click OK, so it is closed. Here you can see that. And now I'm gonna create another button and its functionality. Here I'm gonna create it. Here is button name is cancel, and its functionality is also close the div, and here you see that when we click on it, so it is closed. And the next thing that that is here is we can also close it when we click escape. Here is you see that here I'm going to refresh it, and here it is. And now we click on escape, and it is escape, or it is closed. This is closed. Now this functionality is already applied, but if we don't want to apply this functionality, so what we need to do here, you see that when I click escape, so it is closed. So we have to use this functionality. This is the button parenthesis, so here is after this, here is close on escape, here is close on escape, here is this, and we have to give it false, so the dialog box will not close on pressing the escape. Here is refresh it, and now click on it, and now I'm gonna click escape, and it is not closing. I'm continuously pressing it, but it is not closing. If you want to close on escape, you have to give it true. And the next functionality is that I want to apply is draggable. Here is, you see that it is draggable. We can drag it anywhere. So pop-up boxes are not draggable. So here is draggable, give it false. And if we give it true, so it will become draggable. And here is refresh. And now here you see that it is not draggable, we cannot drag it. And the next functionality is resizable. Now it is not draggable but resizable. Here you can see that, and here I'm going to give it resizable, sizable, false. And now here is click on it, and it is not resizable. And the next functionality is show. Here is show. So we want to show it by fade. Here you see that it is not fading in when we refresh it. So it is not, now it is fade, but previously when the fade is not applied, so it is not fade. Now you can see it when I click, so it is fade. Here is. So the next functionality that I'm going to apply is the model. So what is the model? Here I'm going to give it the true. Now I'm going to apply it, then you can understand it. So here all the color is changed. So this is the model. The model is apply. So these things are used with this dialog box. If you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion.